But at the same time, I do think it is important to determine what you can do and to take some action in some way.
I'd like to just, for people listening, I observed myself in your, I guess you can call it marketing funnel, but it with the Brief History of Palestine book, the short book, that is an issue that I have put my head in the sand and I have like la 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 la. I didn't want to get into it because it was because of relationships. And if I have too strong of an opinion either way, who am I going to be alienating? And so if I
Right.
just avoid it, then I don't have to be accountable to, there's no responsibility if you just didn't know about it. Ignorance is bliss kind of situation.
Hmm.
And so I was able to like consider your ideas in this safe place with a book, and you immediately, like page one, addressed, like you said, the number one objections, like what are the number one arguments in my identity as a Christian. You went, I don't want to violate God's will. I don't want to be like not in alignment with biblical principles, and so you immediately went there. And I just think anybody who's considering like how do you present controversial information to the world for people who are on the fence, that process that you moved me through was spot on and perfect, and people should consider mimicking it. So good job on that front.
Well, I really appreciate that feedback. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that makes me extraordinarily happy to hear that. And just for your knowledge, I was raised Christian, so I come from that background, and so that was kind of, I've studied the Bible back in the day, probably in my, late high school, early young adulthood, intensely studied the Bible, and so I do have that background, and I think that helps on this issue because it is so deeply. This goes to that point I was speaking earlier about how people have this emotional attachment to their belief systems, and so that's something that obviously the Holy Land is an intensely controversial topic, just based on people's beliefs, religious beliefs, and so yeah, I try to be respectful about the differing belief systems, but at the same time, challenging in some ways certain beliefs.
Yeah.
So, but mainly just on the facts of history as opposed to religious beliefs. But yeah, but at the same time, in that book, I have to challenge certain religious beliefs as well because it was unavoidable due to the nature of the evidence with archaeology and DNA studies and so on.